Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for Bandai's Figurized Standard. This is a model kit, which needs assembly. Yep. A lot of people know about the SH Figure Arts, but it seems like Bandai is bringing back Dragon Ball into the model kit building. Actually, for those who have seen or remember, we do have the MG or the Master Grade Figurized, which will only have the normal version of Goku and the Super Saiyan. They did tease Vegeta and Trunks. We've seen the prototypes, but I think the line just didn't work out so well. So that kind of ended abruptly. But they're bringing it back. Now, instead of the Master Grade, this is kind of like a high grade. A little smaller, and hopefully it's into scale with figure arts. So for those who've kind of missed out on the early Frieza, which is a bit ridiculous now. I'm not sure if they're even going to make a premium color of that. Maybe they've announced it already. Who knows? This is the chance, because the first lineup they have is Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, they have Frieza, and I think they're also going to have Cell. So some of the characters they're making in the mold kits are really hard to get in terms of the figures or the figure arts. And on that note too, the figure arts are a bit expensive. This is a mold kit, typically they're cheaper. Anyways. I got mine from Tatsu Hobby. Actually, this is part of their initial shipment. So they get an early shipment of a couple of them. And currently they're sold out. And I got lucky, got one of the early ones. But they are getting more at the end of August. So be sure to check that out. I'll provide the link down below. And I think that's it in terms of introduction. Just looking on the box here, we got a toy sticker right there. Really cool. Seems like there is a tradable card that we'll check out inside. Kind of gives you an idea what's or how that's assembled. And there seems to be an effect part for Kamehameha, which is great. Different poses here, different hands. That's screwed. Here on the back side, seems like there's a base also. And retail for 2,500 yen. So we're looking about $25 to $30 for each of these kits. Makes you wonder if they ever make Broly. How much that's gonna cost? 40 bucks? just my estimate. Anyways, let's do a quick unboxing. I haven't built this yet, so anything from this point on is just pure speculation until I actually built this. So we have the card here, really cool. Seems like you have HP, attack, and maybe that's energy. Some stuff there on the back side of the card. I'll go over it again once I open this. So we have this color or the shade of gold for the hair, which is not too bad, but we'll see. Got the face there. Got the clear blue there for the Kamehameha, the flesh stones. We got the blue here and the clear base. We got this orange carrot for the gi and the rest of his body. Quite nice. Some pamphlets here. Some more promotional things. Okay. And instruction booklet. There we go. Just want to just quickly go over it. Gonna give you an idea. Alright. Let me go ahead and assemble this thing. Alright, and we have Goku here. Again, on the left, we have the mold kit. On the right, we have the figure arts. And you can tell that the mold kit is a little taller. And I got a ruler here. The top of the hair, it goes up to 7-inch. Now, for the figure arts, it goes about 6.5. It's about half-inch difference. And it's something to be expected. You know, it's a little disappointing that it's not to scale, especially for those that are probably planning to get some of the characters, or if they don't have it on figure arts, you can get it on the Figurized. Yeah, unfortunately they're not to scale, but I think certain characters like Cell, the figure arts of that is a little small. So this kind of gives us an idea that the Figurized will be bigger and probably to scale to the figure arts. But anyways, yeah. It does look awesome, just out of the box here. Looks great. And let's go over it. Alright, so before we go to articulation, I just want to point out, this is just out of the box. I didn't really do much other than paint the red. And red is just on the boots here. That's all I did. There is an alternate face, which you can take this out. Kind of like the figure arts. Pop that out. grab the face right here. And another cool thing, what we did the face is like this one here. All of this are plastic. It's a combination of the green. The green is for the eyes. You have some gold pieces here for the eyebrow, and you get the white pieces for the back of the eyes. And that's great. No stickers. But for this one, you need to paint the red, which is the tongue. There is a sticker if you want to use that right here, and along with the other red for the boots here. But I just chose to paint them, and especially with the tongue, you have the curvature there. The sticker, it's flat, so you're not gonna get a good one, but you can use it. So there you go. Looks great. Now, articulation wise on the neck, you have a hinge there on top, so fairly good. You can look down. It bent. There's another joint here for the base of the neck, so that's great. Now for the shoulder, there is a hinge here on the side, which allows you to move forward, and there's also a kind of like another hinge there, and a fairly good movement. This blue piece here, it kind of just sits in there, but you can rotate it. But it's fairly secure, and this is something that I like better than the figure arts. The figure arts, you got that sleeve that's kind of sticking out, so you kind of see the flesh inside, and I don't like it. But this one, it's not too bad, but obviously you kind of see the hinges there. But it is a model kit. Now for the bicep, nicely designed as well. You get that bicep swivel there. Now for the elbow, it's only a single joint, but you get fairly good bend right there, and it's not too bad on the other side, so that's good. Or the back side, I mean. Now for the wrist, I kind of wish they made the peg a little bit bigger, but it does kind of stick out. Or maybe this sleeve here, you can slide this out here. Maybe do it this way. That way you don't see much of the peg, but you do have that sleeve there. And for this, you can do your charge out pose. Now moving on to the waist, you got there is a hinge there and a bolt joint. Actually, let me pop that out if I can. There we go. I did notice that since this whole kit is a plastic, there's no poly caps, so it's doesn't have much give sometimes. I've seen stress marks onto the socket here. Yeah, so you have this hinge system here, and if you pop this out as well, there's another one. Alright, then I'm starting to see stress mark on to the base of that peg. Yeah. So as it grips this is plastic. Yeah, so I'm afraid that the common cause of the failure on this kit is the stress mark. Kind of wish this is a poly cap. Yeah, but anyways, it goes on to there, and likewise this too. Also find myself like putting it backwards, but this plate here is on front, and even getting into this part here, it's a little tricky. There we go. So you have that rotation here onto the torso. You can move that back and onto the waist a little bit. Just be careful though. Yeah, you don't want to keep stressing out that waist joint there, as I've shown. Moving on to the waist. The waist, kind of like figure arts, you're able to push this down. It's in that ball joint right there. With the two halves that you can move down. That way you can move the leg up here. And there is a ball joint there as well. So you have a little bit of a thigh swivel, which is cool. And you can bend this down here for the knee. It's great that there's no gaps, but unfortunately it's on the bottom side of the knee. So certain poses like the charge up like this, when he's squatting, it looks a little odd. I mean, maybe like this, but even then, it still looks odd. Looks like he has really long legs. It's weird. So that's unfortunate. But for just doing, let's say, it's doing a knee up or just a knee, it's not too bad. Yeah. And on the back side here, there we go. Yeah, it's great. We don't really see much of the gap on the back side like we see in the figure arts. Moving down on to the foot here. So on top of there is a hinge. There is a peg there that kind of restricts on how much you can turn this, which kind of makes sense because the leg doesn't really turn as much unless it's broken. Unless you really want to get a full rotation of this to go around, you have to cut the peg inside, and you'll see that when you're building this. Otherwise, you have a bolt joint here. Well, it's more like a hinge peg. And yeah, right there. You got these two pieces here. Again, the red parts, either you paint it or you put the stickers. So you get this peg system here. Just slides it in. There's no toe articulation, and I don't think it's a good idea to put toe articulation because it's a kit. Something that small might just make it a bit more fragile. Probably that's the reason why we don't have that. It's nice to have, kind of like the figure arts, but for the mold kit, it's probably not a good idea. Alright, so let me see if I can get this thing in here. I have to glue that in place. Yeah. Alright, so you can do a tilt, the ankle tilt a little bit. There we go. Alright, so I think that's about it for articulation. For the most part, it's good. Yeah, it does what it's supposed to. I think the upper body is a bit better than the lower part. Right there. Let me swap this back. And let's go over the variety of hands. It's not much on this one, unlike the figure arts. But you get what we need. So we have the closed fist here. You can swap that out. You get this pose here for his instant transportation. So that's cool to have. Otherwise, you have your Kamehameha hands right here. Or your Ki Blast. And you have another on to the other side. And that's pretty much it. You have 5 hands. I kind of wish they even have just the relaxed hands. Although Goku is usually just holding his fist like this, close hand, but or even the fighting one where he's using the 3 finger. It would be cool if they added that, but not on this one. All right, so for this, actually, let's swap it out with the charging angry face. There we go. So the first effect part, let's see if we could just get him to pose. And I do like this hinge on the shoulder. It does what it's supposed to do, which is great. You got this piece right here. It's actually a combination of 3 pieces. You put this together first, and this kind of just slides on top. It's that little effect part. It's small. It's not as great as the figure arts, but it does the job. So that's cool that they've added that. On top of that, they also gave you this effect part. Now for the effect part, you can just have it here, but there is a stand, which is right here, and this is primarily for the effect part. There is, where's that cradle here, and if you like, you can use this for Goku, but this pegs the same thing as the Tamashii stage, which was probably what you want to use it for, and it holds Goku fairly good. But you have a small base here, so that's not gonna work, especially if you want Goku flying up. So definitely you need a Tamashii stage for this cradle right here. But for the effect part, you can adjust this height. There's 2 kind of like pegs there that you can move this around, or even just using one of them to make it really high. I think it's over here. Then I find the peg connection, which is, there we go. Alright, so we have that. Maybe a little higher. There we go. And that's quite great that they've added that. But then again, mold kits, they have a tendency to give you more effect parts than the figure arts, or in terms of figures. There you go. That looks great. And I think that's pretty much it for this review. For the most part, the mold kit is amazing. I really like how we can put everything together, kind of give you an insight of what's the inner workings of how to make a figure. And yeah, it's just great overall. Just even outside the box, you don't have to worry about, do I have to add this? The sticker sheet is available again. But even just doing a little bit of a painting, I just use acrylic paints. And with a toothpick and just, slowly mark the red on the boots and onto the tongue. Even with that, it works well. And again, just a recap, the few things that to worry about, or not to worry about, but to be wary of, just be careful. It's the waist joint. It is a plastic to plastic connection, and I'm afraid that, yeah, those are the weak points on this kit, basically. The waist joint and onto the torso. So be careful, try not to move them as much. Yeah. Otherwise, that's about it. If you got questions, let me know. But definitely, I'm hoping that this figurized line does continue and even extend to other franchises. It would be cool to see Sentai, Power Rangers. That would be great. Or even your Kamen Rider. I would like to see different Kamen Riders made into figurized. They did that before with the Master Grade, but that didn't really fly off. I think it's just maybe the price point. But bring it down on this price point, I think a lot more people will get into it. Anyways, I think that's about it. Again, got mine from Tatsu Hobby. They will get their more of this shipment at the end of August. So tune in on that. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.